Inventory is up and sales are down. What does that mean for buyers and sellers in St. Johns County, Florida this summer? Well, that's what we're going to take a look at in this video. We're going to take a look at June 2025 market stats, looking at single family home sales in St. Johns County. Stay tuned. All right, if you're new here, I am Melissa Anderson with eXp Realty. I'm your St. Johns County, Florida realtor, and I strive to bring you new videos each week all about living, working, buying, selling, all of the things, moving to St. Johns County, Florida, here in Northeast Florida. So this week's video is going to be about June 2025 market stats. So if you have any interest in moving here to St. Johns County, Florida, or maybe you're a seller thinking about selling your home, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on a video. And as always, I'm going to put my contact information right here. You can reach out, you can text me, call, email, all of those things for more information or to connect with me. As I alluded to in the opener, we've got increased inventory and low sales. Not low sales, but sales are definitely down. And let's just take a look real quick at closed sales. So for June 2025, we had 487 closed homes that closed. Now, so fewer homes are selling, signaling possibly like buyer hesitation, pricing friction, maybe buyers are still waiting for interest rates to drop, which not sure if that's going to happen anytime soon. They're hovering like around 6.7-ish is what I'm seeing. But as I mentioned to you guys in last month's video, if you are looking at new construction here in St. Johns County, I had buyers who closed in at 4.5% for 3 years and then 5.5 locked in rate. I just saw today with Maddings in Rivertown, it was like, my gosh, like 2.99%. Crazy. So interest rates, if you're doing new construction, best believe you could probably get an amazing rate with those lenders for new construction. Let's look at median sales price. Median sales price, $583,500. So that was up 6.1% year over year. Despite fewer home sales, home sale prices or values still continue to rise or stay stable. And I don't think I mentioned before when we looked at closed sales, so that was down 14.5% year over year. So that's considerable. Active inventory for June, we had 2,668 homes on the market. That was up 5.7% year over year. So more options for buyers, absolutely. And this is signaling to sellers that you need to sell or price strategically for sure. Days on market. Okay, so that's about 54 days on average. That's 10.2% longer than last year. And homes are taking longer to sell. This is giving buyers more negotiating power. So sellers price strategically and be prepared for buyer concessions. We looked at price per square foot here, $250 per square foot. So that's 1.8% year over year increase. So small appreciation, and that's consistent with long-term trends. New listings for June, we had 666 new listings added to the MLS, and that was down 9.1% year over year. Sellers may be holding back due to high interest rates, uncertainty. I know I spoke with a seller, I guess it was last week. He's only owned his home, so he bought it as an investment property and then he rents it out. And this property was located in Durbin Crossing. He was interested in potentially selling it. However, I advised him, I was like, if you don't have to sell right now, I wouldn't. You're not going to make money. You're going to lose money. Here's the numbers. I think there was some crazy amount of homes for sale in Durbin Crossing. I want to say it was like 61 or something like that. So he wouldn't be able to sell for even what he purchased it for. So I always say rule of thumb, if you can stay in a home, like minimum 5 years, that's a sweet spot for a return. Otherwise, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, hopefully you can break even. Odds are less likely. Being fully transparent here. Of course, there's outliers, different variables that impact that, but that's my take. That's my 2 cents. All right, new pendings. We had 264 homes that went under contract the month of June. That was down 43.5% year over year. So it's one of the most dramatic drops that we've had this month. And buyer demand may be cooling a little. Okay. So that was a big drop. So we're at month supply of inventory, 5.5 months. So that's up 16.3% from last month being May, since we're looking at June. And so, of course, that means we're approaching more of a balanced market. 6 months equals balanced market. And then list price received, let's take a look at that. So 97.3% had list price received, just a slight drop, 0.4%. And so sellers are still getting really close to asking, but again, negotiations, those are tending to impact what the list price, what sellers are getting for their list, or what sellers are getting compared to their list price. Yeah. If you have any questions about these market stats, or you're thinking, hey, we're thinking about moving to St. Johns County, of course, as a buyer, I think this is an absolute great time to buy, either resale or new construction. We still have, if you're looking at new construction, there's still plenty of communities that are building. Some are close to closing out. But again, you have plenty of options there. And even when it comes to resale, there are still deals to be had. And of course, you can always, as a buyer, new construction, you're able to get those lower interest rates. But looking at resale, you can always ask for a buyer concession to buy down your rate as well. So any little bit helps. And if you have any questions at all about this, I'm going to put my contact information back up here one more time. And feel free to email, text, or call me.